still a statement he made there, which has to do with the rights of citizens who voted for this candidate should not be taken for granted. Elections, the act of voting is the act of exercising your franchise, which is a right, an inalienable right, given to every nationalist, every native or resident, as the case may be. From Kano State to Plateau State, the judgment of 2 days ago and yesterday seemed to really put a lot of persons on the egg. Now, this group is saying, hey, President Tinubu, you need to call these people to order. How critical it is to you that the judiciary, being the last hope of the common man, is taken for granted with this judgment, the rights of the people who voted for this candidate. I go back to Kano State real quickly. 165,663 votes were declared invalid by the courts. Invalid not because people did not vote accurately for the candidate. Invalid because INEC did not sign the back of the result sheet or so. The question then is, if we have gotten to the point where some of these things are being used against those who voted, do we really hope to still have elections in Nigeria? And this call for President Tinubu to call them to order and for NJC to review the elections. How much of this do you think is going to make any difference?
Thank you so much. You see, what is happening in the country now, as regards appeal courts and some election tribunals and all that, it seems to me that there is a deliberate act by some section of the political elites, to truncate pure democracy in Nigeria, to kill it completely. Because, you see, take a statistic of persons that are literate in a state like Kano. Kano is a state with 44 government areas. Take a statistic. It's not like the populace or the electorate did not vote right. They voted right. They ensured they don't have avoided votes. They didn't vote between the lines. But in no fault of theirs, the ad hoc staff of the Independent National Electoral Commission did not either sign or put the stamp, which for me is subject to investigation to know whether a mole was planted to deliberately ensure that the votes of some places where probably an opposition political party has an upper hand is nullified. It could be intentional. It could have been masterminded, because nothing is impossible in the Nigerian context. Because I do not understand how that whopping number of votes and all the presiding officers in that area, none of them signed, is suspicious. In spite of the voter education, the training that is given to the ad hoc staff on how to apply and use the beavers, on how to be proactive when addressing voters, in how to fill in the form EC8A, which is the result sheet, and how to conduct themselves and all that. I suspect a foul play.